Hi Sagittarius, this is Kay. You're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your reading. This is a new round, so let's begin. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you're all doing very well. I'm very excited to be here for you guys today to do your reading. Let's find out what Archangel Michael wants you to know, most wants you to know today. All right. We have balance. Okay, that's a good thing to know. Balance. Needing to be in balance. Balance with your energies, right? Balance with your behaviors. Like, for example, if you work a lot, you need to balance your time with work, at work, with some, resting time or entertainment, relaxation. Yeah. So, and energy-wise, it would be like making sure that you are, getting your fears under control, managed, so that you can sit in an energy of, being confident and strong. Let's find out what the Lenormand wants to tell you today with that. We have the Cherry Twilight number rendition of the rats. So I will read that. The Cherry Twilight, there's a Lilac Twilight in this deck. Let's see, I'll show you. I'm showing all here's the white one. The white number is the Lilac Twilight. The red one is the Cherry Twilight. Okay, so the lilac is more positive version of the message, and the Cherry Twilight is more the not so positive, the negative rendition of the rats. In this case, it's rats message. Okay, so we've got something to do with rats, with losing something. Let's see, I'm going to read it. Let's see what we can get from that. I should have started off reading the balance card first, but balance, yeah, balance. Let's see, what more can you say about balance, right? So the rats, the Cherry Twilight rendition is rats. It's theft, sickness, trouble, bad company, serious loss, and promiscuity. Okay, for the lilac version, if it was the white lettering number, it'd be family trouble, small problems, destruction of property, and petty theft. So it's in line with pretty much every other Lenormand version of the rats. The lilac one is where it's bad enough, but it's not to the point where it is going to be something much more detrimental to your well-being, physical, emotional, mental, as the Cherry Twilight is. So Cherry Twilight, again, we got theft, sickness, trouble, bad company, serious loss, and promiscuity. So this is something that it's serious. It's seriously serious. It needs to be seriously considered, seriously taken, what am I trying to say? Taking serious consideration. Well, there you go, the Hanged Man. Okay, so you just have to look at it from a serious perspective. This is not something to take lightly, this loss. It's a serious loss of some kind. Okay, so perhaps, the tarot will tell us more. But if you're engaging in something that the divine is trying to warn you to say that maybe you've been down this road before, you had a tower moment in it, been down this road before, and they're trying to warn you to make sure that you try to change your ways of thinking that causes you, which is looking at your subconscious mind, what sort of things you're telling yourself. We have the Three of Flowers, which is the Three of Wands. Ha! Three of Wands. Okay, so being prepared, waiting for your ships to come in is going to be, you're in a stalemate because you want to move forward, you want to go ahead, you want to jump on that ship, but the divine is holding you back from that. Quite literally holding you back. So things may seem to be moving really, really slowly or really not at all. And you might be feeling like you're stuck. That there is nothing going on in the direction that you would like to see happen. So if you're trying to build up, let's say, a financial account of money, you are probably having a difficult time being able to do that for a number of reasons. And one of the reasons might be that you might spend a lot of your money instead of actually putting, let's say, 10% of your income away after every pay period into an account to save for those rainy days, or just to save to have for retirement, or those things that crop up every year, like maybe your car insurance or your house insurance, or somebody's birthdays, for birthdays, that you got to cover all the birthdays. If you have young kids, you're going to have birthday parties, stuff like that. Things like that cost money, right? So it may be that you have a lot of annual things that come around all the time, like subscriptions to things and whatever, that actually put you out of pocket because you don't seem to have had the ability to save it ahead of time. So when the time comes, it's like, okay, I gotta pay for this subscription to whatever it is that you're subscribed to, and it's $25, $35, or whatever. It's just another added expense to your bills already, and it might leave you a little bit out of pocket as a result for the next couple of weeks. And it's frustrating, right? So the rats is like, it's kind of like the tower, but it's not a sudden crumble and just whatever. It's something that is coming, that's happening slowly, but ultimately it's going to have its way. Ultimately, you're going to be suffering from something that you might have been able to avoid or prevent before, by changing the way you think and feel. Like if you're somebody who likes to go out and spend money, like to buy things, let's just say, if you're someone who likes to use your money to buy things and you feel good when you have this brand new thing, it's called therapy, shops therapy, or therapy, spending therapy, shopping therapy. I'm not sure what it's called, something like that. But it's something that you probably are aware of, where we spend our money, and we usually are spending money we don't have. So it's kind of like we're putting it on a credit card, something like that, right? Credit card, or using some kind of money from your savings account that is supposed to go towards something else, but you use it for this instead. You go, the heck with it, I'm just going to do this, and impulsively use that money, thinking, well, I'll just put it back in the next couple paychecks. It'll be replenished in the next couple paychecks, and that then something else comes up, like the subscriptions, or you have certifications to renew. Maybe you need to do get extra credits, not extra credits, you get credentialing credits, right, for the CEUs that you need to have to put towards your licensing if you're, in that professional bracket kind of thing. There's always something, right, that is going to ask for your money, and even if it's not something that you can foresee ahead of time, it's something like, I don't know, a big wind comes around and it blows off some of your roofing tiles, so now you have to get a roofer on it, and then they get up there and they say, well, how old is this roof? Oh, it's, getting on to 15, 20 years old. Well, it looks as though you're going to need more, and that's the reason you're going to need more repairs, because that's the reason why these tiles fell off in the first place, is because things are getting bad underneath the tiles, because they've been like that for a while, and the sub roof, or whatever you call it, the wood that they put down, and then the tarp paper over that has seen better days, just put it that way. So now suddenly, instead of just getting a roofer out there to replace 3 or 4 or 5 tiles, next thing you know, they're pulling off chunks of plywood or chipboard, MDF. They're pulling that off. So now you have to actually repair a larger part of the roof than you expected to, and you're adding more expense to the materials and time that the roofers take. So you're coming out of that probably having to pay about $1,000 if you don't have insurance for it. And even with the insurance, oftentimes you have a huge what do you call the amount that you have to pay first before insurance kicks in. Yeah. I'm always talking about these things, having these really great example ideas, but I can't think of the words. Oh my God. It's a deductible, I guess is what you call it. Yeah. Maybe some kind of health crisis too, right? Where you now have to go into emergency, or you're going to have a stay in the hospital for a few days, and it's like $10,000 a day. It costs your insurance, if you have some, if you're lucky, to be taken care of in a hospital room overnight, like for the day. Let's find out. I know I'm the bringer of bad news today, but let's see. Wands. We have the Ace of Wands. You feel often inspired and motivated to do whatever it is that you look. Look. I don't know if you can see this, but she's got a spray can in her hand with her finger on the nozzle, the trigger thing, and she's spraying on the wall. So it's like she's being irresponsible. She's being reckless, The Ace of Wands in this deck, it looks like it's a reckless motivation, inspiration. It's like you're feeling inspired to do something on a whim, wanting to do it, wanting to feel good, like that retail therapy there. That's what it was. Retail therapy. You're feeling down about something. It's either you go out and you spend money, or you get online and shop. Spend money. It's easy to do that online, right? Or we eat. So oftentimes we'll eat. Some people will go for a jog. Some people will go mow the lawn, or do some gardening or something like that. Other people will either eat or shop, kind of thing, or do some kind of drug, or smoke marijuana. Go and get some cannabis and smoke some marijuana so that you can forget your troubles. It's just whatever it is that you are doing that is like it's a go-to whenever our emotions are heightened to the point where we're feeling agitated, frustrated, anxious, angry, or afraid, scared. That we want to we need to ameliorate the way we're feeling emotionally by this therapy, right? Whatever type of therapy we're talking about. Like I said, there's the retail therapy, there's food, eating therapy, there's cannabis, there's other drugs, or alcohol, or there's gardening, jogging, a long walk in nature, or something like that. Maybe even meditation. There's different ways of being able to address the way we're feeling emotionally, and it is as though what we've been doing has been something that is causing havoc. It's going to cause havoc. It's like this. Eventually, it's going to come back around and bite us in the butt, or nibble us in the butt like a rat, because it's a long-term cunning. Because rats only have small mouths, and they can only chew so much at a time, and so it takes them a while to get, let's say, through a coaxial cable, or an electrical cable, or something like that, or through a piece of wood that is in the way of where they're wanting to go, but it happens to be an antique piece that you've had, that your parents handed down to you, that was handed down to them by their so and so and so, that kind of thing. But this is impulsive, reckless energy of the Ace of Wands. So she's messing the wall up with this spray paint. And our divine is holding us back. We're being basically putting the brakes on our own life, because let's say if we're talking about money, for example, all the money that we spend could be going towards spending that on, let's say, a really nice vacation. Or even if you just want to travel by land and maybe you got a camper and you'll be able to take 2 or 3 weeks off work and just go, which is going to cost a great deal of money to do with if you're going to camp out in campsites and just pulling the trailer with the truck that you have to pull it with is going to, the gasoline alone. But then everything else that goes with that, it's expensive. And you're just kind of, what we're doing is we're denying ourselves, right? Denying ourselves, sacrificing our ability to move forward when we're prepared to move forward. When we're ready to move forward, we can't with the Three of Wands. We can't, because financially we can't afford it. So let's keep going. We got strength. This is the strength and courage, holding back or confidently moving forward. With the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords, which is finding a solution. Okay, so digging deep into your inner strength to find a solution. Ten of Swords, to the way that we have been either betrayed by someone that has caused us to be in an energy of being sacrificed, where someone maybe have done something to you and it caused you to lose something, maybe your health or lose your mobility. Let's just say you had maybe a car accident. It's someone else's fault. Now your car's wrecked, right? So you lose the use of your car, perhaps, or you're losing money to get your car replaced. But then you have to go without your car for a while, so then you have to rent a car or someone else to drive you around, back and forth to work, whatever. Or, the insurance writes it off, but there's that gap thing where there's not enough that they're going to pay out in order for you to be able to pay out your loan on your car. So now you're paying on a car that you don't even have anymore. Or, you've gotten in a car accident, you got whiplash, or you broke your leg or something like that, and you're laid up, not able to go to work. And maybe you don't have the kind of short-term disability insurance through work. Maybe you don't have any benefits through work. And now you can't even get yourself to work and do what you need to do at work to earn the money. And so now you're in a serious loss, you're a serious predicament, just put it that way. And it's because we haven't put anything aside for those rainy days, financial wise, or just taking care of yourself wise, health wise. So let's say it was maybe you're financially okay, but you broke your leg, and maybe if you had been the type of person who was more in the routine of exercising, eating properly, and all that sort of stuff, not taking any harmful chemicals, stuff like that, you might actually be able to overcome or heal a lot quicker from a broken leg than you would have if you're the type of person who doesn't do any of that stuff, right? If you are somebody who is who maybe you sprained your ankle, and it's all blue and swollen and purple and all those terrible colors of a person's body, it's very difficult for you to walk, and it ends up taking you a long time for that sprain to heal, because we're somebody who maybe we're sedentary lifestyle outside of work, and we just don't really take time to exercise and eat right, drink right, all that sort of stuff, and to get lots of fresh air and vitamin D from the sun, stuff like that. Hey, I'm one. No judgment. I do that too. I live a sedentary lifestyle. Like, I sit here and do tarot card readings. So I sit here. But I am trying to exercise more, and I do eat properly because, diabetes will kind of force that onto you. So, but I got diabetes, but I got it under control, and that's really good. But what I'm trying to say is that we are losing out on being able to heal faster, to get us back on the road to living life normally again, because maybe we haven't been taking care of ourselves as best as we could. If it's not ourselves, our physical self health-wise, it's our financial well-being. We have the Two of Cups. So, look at her. Like, she's so happy to have that. What is it? Kind of looks like a cabbage. No, it's not. Some kind of freaky thing. Yeah, because this is the deck of, what's it called? It's Beetlejuice, the Beetlejuice deck. So this is some kind of freaky thing. But when I first looked at it, it looked like cabbage. But she's so happy. Look what I got. She thinks it's a real gem. Yeah. And then the Chariot, which is the car, the duster, or whatever it is. The Chariot. So Two of Cups and Chariot. Moving forward, progress forward with the Three of Cups. Being happy about that. Knight of Swords. Allowing the truth to come in and sink in. Like literally sink in, right? This guy, he's got swords coming out of him. So they're inside of him to come out of him. Gotta let the truth sink in. There's no point in pussyfooting around it, kind of thing. And the Ten of Wands, that's a huge burden. Heavy, heavy burden, but you're letting it down, letting it go. Dropping the burden. With the Nine of Cups now. Look, this person's indulging, but indulging in reading some kind of document or a book or something like that. So they're educating themselves. So you're indulged, you're feeling a lot more emotionally stable, balanced, right? A lot more emotionally balanced, which is what this card is. Yeah, I was going to read it, but I'm not going to read it. Because balance, I mean, what more can you say about balance? So, anyways, you'll be feeling a lot more stable, emotionally feeling good about yourself, in your own skin, health-wise particularly, in your own finances, that sort of thing. With the Five of Swords, it says, I am done, it says. Wait a minute. Does that say alone or done? Oh, I am alone. I said I am done, so I'm going with I am done. That's it. Judgment. Yep, that's making the final decision, answering the call of your life with the Four of Pentacles, holding on to what you've got. Don't let it go. Don't just spend it just because, taking the risk. The Queen of Swords, it's you balanced. You're balanced emotionally. You're also very intuitive, and you are somebody who doesn't mince words and doesn't take any guff, and although is flexible, will hear somebody's their point of view out before making a final decision, but being discerning, really. Being discerning, and not because the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords are generally looked at as energies that are about having divorced from a relationship, from a person. So discerning and leaving things behind that are no longer good for you. Wait a minute, here we go. With the Ace of Swords, speaking and following your truth, and soon you will be in the taking charge, take control energy, and I have to pull this one out. I'm sorry, but I have to. It's the Queen of Pentacles. And this is the energy you want to be sitting in. This one here really knows her stuff. She lives well because she plans well. She's a good planner. She plans ahead. And therefore, she's got a financial, stash. She's got a financial stash. And she's got good health. Like she's drinking a martini. Martinis are like a cocktail that are only for special occasions, right? So she's able to go out and enjoy herself and have a martini. She's the type of energy that lives in her dreams because she can afford to do it. Like, we have dreams. Every one of us has dreams. But can we honestly say that we can afford to follow our dreams? Whether it's energy-wise or financial-wise, time-wise, can we actually afford it with those currencies, energy, time, and money, finances? Can we afford to live our dreams? So this is what we see here, is that Sagittarius, you have an impulse, like a spontaneous, impulsive, reckless twinge in you, let's just say. Some kind of twinge that when perhaps things are not going well, you've had an argument with somebody, maybe you just woke up kind of on the wrong side of the bed, and it's just like the start of the day is like that already for you. It is whatever it is, financial woes, work woes, that you were called in to go to work today when you thought you were going to have the day off. You wake up and you're sneezing, you find out you got a bad cold, and that's the last thing I want to have is a bad cold right now. You know, it's the impulse to either eat, drown our sorrows with eating, with alcohol, the drugs, and all that sort of stuff. Retail therapy. Now, if you wanted to go and do landscaping, or going for a long walk, that would be a healthy, or meditation, yoga, that would be a healthy thing. We wouldn't even be talking to you about this if that's the sort of thing that you do to address whatever problems you have that crop up in your life, either expected or unexpected. But if it's not, and generally it isn't, if it's not, you do something, one of the two or a few of the things that I mentioned, and it's going to see your pocketbook emptied. It's going to see your pocketbook, not just your pocketbook, but your actual bank account emptied and never filling up, really. And if it does, it's something else that's going to come along, and it's going to sweep all that cash you put in there away because there's a hole in your roof, your car's wrecked, something. You're laid up and can't work. But in any case, this impulsive twinge that we have to just do it, irregardless. You're going through Amazon and kind of just looking at stuff that the subject of whatever it is that you're interested in, you see something that looks like it's a really good deal today. It's like $3 off, or you get an extra 10% off. If you buy it today, it's like, oh dang, I really don't have $13. But I could probably fit $13 more onto my credit card. Okay, and then at some point during the month, you get a credit card statement and you go, oh my God, I can't believe it. It's at that balance already? Oh my God, I only spent $13. Well, that was yesterday. Maybe the days before that, we might have spent more. But we have to dig deep. We have to find some balance to get us out of this funk that we're in, financial or health-wise funk. Okay? Could even be a relationship, but I would say we're going to talk mostly in the realm of health and finances. So dig deep. Dig deep for some strength, inner strength. You know where you got to go to get that, right? To find inner strength, it doesn't come from the fridge. It doesn't come from, it doesn't come from Amazon. It's retail therapy and food therapy, or it doesn't come from the bottle. It doesn't come from the thing, the marijuana, the cigarette. What do they call it now? See, I don't even use it, so I don't know. I can't remember. I know what it is, but I just can't. It's one of those things I can't think of it. But, excuse me, it comes from within, where the only strength and power that you truly have is from checking in with your inner self. Saying, you know what, I feel like I can't control myself. I just haven't been able to control myself. Why is that? Can you please help me understand? There's something subconscious going on, is what I'm trying to say. Subconsciously, there's something in our subconscious that makes us feel yucky, in whatever way that is. Mad, upset, sad, afraid, scared, whatever it is. There's something in our subconscious mind that causes us to have that emotional, I need to fix my emotions right now. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. So I'll have to, take some drugs, or I'll have to drink some alcohol to numb my feelings, right? So I don't have to feel like this, or eat, and then my stomach's full and I'm feeling better. So it's about going into your inner self, your God, your whatever you pray to or worship, asking, telling them, I have this that's not under control. I have this habit. It's not under control, and it seems to be nibbling away at my life, bit by bit. I feel like I'm ruining my life because I can't do the things I want to do, health-wise or financial-wise, or maybe both-wise. I'm not able to. I would like to have a type of bank account that says you're healthy. I'd like to have the type of health, physical health, that says you're healthy. You can go and do things. You can jump off roofs. You can, do bungee jumping and all that sort of stuff. Go for long hikes, or ski downhill, or water ski, whatever. You can do it because you have the physical strength to do that. And that has to come from the emotional strength that you have. But if we don't have control over our emotions, what we believe is, okay, so something's going on. I'm not sure. I'm feeling uncertain. I'm a little weary or wary, and and I'm concerned. I'm feeling concerned. I don't like feeling like this. I'm feeling anxious. Anxiety, right? I don't feel like this. I want to feel like this. I even feel depressed right now. What is it that makes me feel this way? Sure, it could be a chemical imbalance that you've had since childhood, but even if it is, you still can get treatment for balancing, again, bringing the balance back into your chemical makeup in your brain that's throwing you off because it's not balanced. Okay, so there's treatment you can receive, but you have to go see the doctor about it, right? That's going to help bring that balance, that hormonal balance back into your head, your body, then, of course, your life as a result. So that would be, one of those things would be kind of like the solution that you need to move forward from an emotional, because the Six of Swords is moving from rough waters, which is emotions, to calmer waters. And you do this by learning our lessons about we've been here before. Just before I shove a piece of cake into my face, into my mouth, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go, no, you're not going to do that, because, if you eat that, you're just down a slippery slope at that point. You're probably going to eat the rest of the fridge. So I'm going to stop myself and say, I need to change tracks. I need to not only figure out why I feel like I need to eat right now, and not just, because somebody said something to me. It's going to be something about how come I react to when someone says something like that to me. Is it because when I was a kid, I was berated by my parent, or was berated by my peers or siblings, and it never felt good then, so it certainly doesn't feel good now, especially if it's a stranger saying, or someone that I dearly love says something like that to me. I'm just going to go ahead and eat the fridge, right? So it's like it comes down to understanding where this is coming from as to why we feel that the impulse to retail therapy or eat, drink, smoke, whatever. And that is the lessons you're learning, is that you're going to be able to take those lessons from the times that you've been there. And let's say you spent everything that you got. You don't have any more credit line on any credit. Your bank account is depleted, and there is these extra bills that have come up. Home repair, whatever it is, and you don't have the money for it, and you're barely even scratching by as it is before those things showed up. Next thing you know, you had to file for bankruptcy. Let's put it that way. File for bankruptcy, that's a tower moment, okay? When you have to say, I can't afford to live the way I'm living, and I've got to file for bankruptcy. I have got to put my finances into bankruptcy someone else is going to have control over my money for at least 5 years. Okay, so at least 5 years of your life, if you have to file for bankruptcy, it goes on public record. Anyone can look you up and they'll say, so-and-so filed for bankruptcy on whatever day it was. So, of course, you know your creditors, or the creditors that you have already, they can't contact you anymore, which is great, but you still owe them money, but it might be a reduced amount. Or totally, they might just totally write it off. Depends on how much money it's going to cost them to keep you paying them through the bankruptcy. And they might just write it off, but most of them don't. Credit report, you know, if whatever countries follow that sort of thing, that if you do need a credit card, let's say, because you don't have those ones that you had before, they're gone. If you do need a credit card for an emergency situation, you're not going to have one, because the creditors that you aren't in contract with yet, an agreement to pay them back yet, if you're applying for credit through them, they're going to look at your credit report and they're going to see the black mark of the bankruptcy, and they're not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole. So it's stuff like that you have the tower moment where you're saying, I've been there and I didn't like it. I don't want to ever be in that situation again. That's where you're supposed to be taking what you've learned to move from those rough waters at that time. Take the lessons, the swords, right? The 6 swords that are in the boat usually is what you see on the picture. Take the lessons that you learned from that with you to help you when you need to remember those lessons as you're moving into calmer waters, calmer emotional waters. The 10 of Swords, that's when you were down and out at the time, and you remember that. You remember when the tower had come and you were left struggling even more than you struggled before. The 2 of Cups is like this remembering that you've got help in a partnership. You've got help either with somebody that's here in the physical world, okay, or you've got help from the other side. The divine, through your ancestors, through your angels, the divine, spirit guides, whatever. They're going to, you partner up with this one, and you will have a smile on your face. But you've got to go inside to help. You've got to go inside, find that strength to hear the guidance that you need in order for you to get in your car and progress forward at a good pace. Because right now you're sitting like a duck, stuck like a duck, and not being able to take a hold of opportunities, take advantage of any opportunities. So partner up with somebody like a money coach or a health coach or somebody that you can talk to, a dietitian, somebody that has to do with whatever it is that you, the physical therapist, if you've got a sprained ankle that's not healing, or a broken leg or something, or back problems, you got somebody that can help you to give you better ways of coping, better coping practices with even if it's a mental health counselor that you need to talk to. They'll give you better coping practices, because you're going to be digging down into the subconscious mind to find the root of the problem in the first place, so that you can actually take it with a very strong hand, because you find in your inner strength to pull, not yank it, but just, calmly pull it out, and you got the whole root, and it ain't ever going to happen again, because you're going to heal that. So you're going to be moving forward. You're going to be able to enjoy your time. You're going to start having better physical health, better financial health. You're going to be able to go out and enjoy time with friends. Celebrate your winnings, celebrate your advancements, moving forward in a healthy manner. With the 8 of Swords, this is, again, it's like you have to let it all sink in. You're up in your head. You'll be up in your head. You'll be wondering if all of this is going to even work for me. Well, you got to give it time. You got to let it sink in. You got to let the whole new idea of finding that inner strength, the whole new habit of looking for inner strength through whatever avenue or means you have to do that with, that true strength, not through the bottle or anything else like that, then you let that sit, you got to let it sit in. And while you're letting it settle in, it's like learning a new habit. It takes 5 to 6 weeks before you really can say, I've got this habit. And you still could stray even at that point, but the best part about it being 5 to 6 weeks, if you really work on implementing this new habit in your life, the best part about that 5 to 6 weeks is that if you do stray, you start thinking about, oh, I could do that, and then you think, oh, no, remember, I'm not doing that anymore. I got a new habit. Yeah, I don't do retail therapy. In fact, I've actually deleted the Amazon app off my phone. I'm just saying that's kind of how you might be talking to yourself at that point. And so then when you got the 10 of Wands, it's like, okay, I'm no longer burdened by my vices, the habits that were causing havoc and destruction, deterioration in my life. With the 9 of Cups, we're kind of like, I can sit back and I can relax. I'm not only having a good time with my peers now, my family or friends or whatever, I'm able to enjoy my life a little bit more now because I'm getting my act together. I'm feeling quite emotionally proud of myself, happy, feeling I'm in a good emotional place now, really good emotional place, where it says I am done. 5 of Swords, I am done sabotaging myself. I'm done. This is it. And, I'm not going to let my emotions derail me again. And if I do, even after I've, at 5 to 6 weeks of developing a new habit, maybe I've been seeing my counselor once a week for 5 to 6 weeks, and she's helped me. She or he has really helped me to sort this out, figure it out, and have new coping practices, right? I am going to be, I can honestly say, I'm done with sabotaging my life. Done with that. And now I know that whenever I'm called in one way or another, whether it's in a good way or in a way that says, my emotions are calling at me to feed them or to numb them or to, pay for them, whatever, or the call is, you've got an opportunity coming your way that is something that you're going to be asked by the divine through all of your time, asked to take serious consideration of it and answer the call to your emotions, but in a way that is in a healthy way, right? The healthful way. This is where you're going to be starting with, maybe creating a budget, a financial budget, weekly budget or paycheck budget, and following it to the letter, hanging on to your money. Don't get impulsive again whenever you start feeling a little upset. Well, you see, that little upset is not going to be so much of a big deal for you anymore because you have a new regime, a new routine, a new way of coping with how you were sabotaging your life before with the 10 of Swords. You have found a new way, a solution. The divine, through your inner strength, is going to help you, guide you, make suggestions to you like, have you ever thought about mental health counseling, or have you ever thought about a dietitian counseling, or you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about talking to a financial coach or manager or something? I don't know what they call it. But have you ever thought about this? And you start thinking that, right? In your mind, you might be thinking, oh, I just came up with that idea. Well, yeah, you did, but it was put in your mind for you to think about it by the divine, because you're searching for ways for overcoming your vice, whatever it is that's been keeping you stuck in a certain way. So we got the Queen of Swords. She's the one that if you need some truth, you go to her. She will give you the truth. So you're following your own truth, and you're becoming that person who is leading with, like, the Ace of Swords, right? They're leading. They do their research. I'm just looking at the picture. They do their research, and they make sure whatever it is that they're planning on doing is right for them. It's the truth for them. It's right. They speak their truth. They live their truth. They act their truth. To do retail therapy or fridge therapy, that's not our true truth. That's only coping truth that says, I'm feeling hurt right now. I'm feeling I have a boo-boo that I need to put a Band-Aid on, so I'll just eat something, or I'll just buy something. Yeah, and this is it, taking charge, take control, or you are going to be working with either your husband, if you're somebody watching this video who's a married woman, you could be in tandem working with your husband to help you through this. But you are the Queen of Pentacles. You stepped into your truth now, and you got new coping mechanisms to help you to stop doing what it is that's been derailing your life in whatever way it has. And now you are somebody who's pre-planning. You are planning ahead, and you got money now to actually work with. You got health now to actually work with, to use to plan things. You got it. And it is a take charge, take control, be a leader in your own life type person if it's not your husband. Okay, so it's somebody that you have become, the energy you've stepped into yourself. If this is no one else, that would be a take charge. I'm going to lead you. I'm going to be here and stand by your side kind of through this trouble. Let's say you're trying to lose weight, and your person, your husband or boyfriend, or I'm talking to you as if you're a woman, but it could be the other way around. But they eat whatever they want to eat, right? And they don't gain an ounce, right? That's so unfair. But we just look at it or just smell it, and we gain 20 pounds. You might be talking to your husband who work with you that they'll be on whatever type of diet you're going on, in order for you to find the health. Like maybe sugar's going to be cut completely out of your cupboards. No sugar at all. That's maybe one of the things that has to go first, right? And so maybe your husband likes to drink coffee with sugar in it, and he's going to say, you know what? I'll even drink my coffee without sugar. I'll go without sugar. I'll learn to love my coffee without sugar in it, because they want to support you. Right? That's kind of what I'm talking about. But that you're going to get this together. You're going to come out on top. But you have to be able to say, why am I doing this? Why do I eat myself into 20 pounds? Why do I spend myself into debt? Further, bigger, deeper debt? Why do I drink myself into drunken oblivion, and I'm asleep on the couch when I should have went to pick up the kids from school? So it's that kind of thing that we have to look at. Why am I doing this? And if you need help, partner up with somebody. If that's your person, that says, I'm going to take charge and take control, I'm going to stop using sugar. I'm going to stop this. I'm not going to eat as much. I'm going to eat as much as you eat. That kind of thing. They're going to support you. Somebody can support you. You can partner up with somebody to support you, to help you see your way forward. Okay, in the best way possible, where you're going to be able to get back on track and comfortably, to some degree, comfortably enjoy your life again. Or for the first time. Depends. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful, Sagittarius. It was really rather serious, and it is serious because of this rat card here. It's a serious situation. Balance needs to be regained. You need to find a balance where you're not sitting here stuck and feeling like you're sacrificing in some area of your life because you've got this vice. Okay? So take care of yourself. Bye for now.